Hey, welcome to Six Bears Chat. I'm Papa Bear for Six Bears 3D Printing. Running a little behind today. I usually get on about 11, but I thought, I had a lot of business. It has been a crazy weekend. Yes, I did not go live Saturday and Sunday, but it's been crazy. Uh, been picking up a lot of projects lately. Actually, let me grab one for you. I kind of forgot to grab it. Yes, I was not prepared, but I kind of went live for the moment. Um, just feeling good today. I felt like I really wanted to go live at the last minute, but let me grab this because I did mean to grab it for you. Okay, so the project that kept me busy all weekend was an unusual project, and it's going to lead into what the topic of the day is. We're going to talk about infills and perimeters. Uh, Early on, when I started 3D printing, I did not really understand about infills and perimeters. I didn't get the necessity of different infills and perimeters on different size projects, different purposes for every project. It makes a huge difference, and it may be something that's been hanging you up, so maybe I can help out. Let me share something with you. Take a look at this pie. Now, this is obviously a fake pie for a customer who does outdoor, like farmers markets. She does crawfish pies. Well, she can't take a frozen crawfish pie out there in the heat. It'll spoil. It'll thaw. Now, on the other side, ironically, the heat is actually bad for what I make as well. This crawfish pie in the heat will curl up from the heat outside, and we have to prevent that. Now, there's a number of ways that we can do that. The first thing we can do starts with our infill and starts with our perimeters. Most of your slicers will give you a standard two-layer perimeter. For most sculptures, that's going to be fine. In your little project, you use a little 2 layers, no problem. But what that does is, that's your first level of defense against breakage and warping. The next one is going to be your infill. And if you've looked on your slicer, most of your slicers have a list of infills, long as my arm, okay? And most people don't really understand them. They're like, what does it matter? What's the point? Is it just they look different? Well, honestly, it's what I thought too at first. I thought, I don't understand why you think I need all these things. So I did a lot of research, and man, did I do some research. My prints were failing, and I couldn't understand why. Let me guess. How many of you have like large flat surface prints that just keep failing? Like it starts shredding it. You don't understand why. Starts with your infill. One of the guilty parties that I have run into, especially lately, would be something simple like the rectilinear infill. It's extremely commonly used. But on some projects with certain filaments, it's not going to hold what you need. It's a strong infill. But what I would go with on some things, now what I'm going to do is on my other screen, I'm bringing up the pie, the one I just made. It's going to be a perfect example for me to bring up these infills and kind of give you an idea. But what you're going to find out is, I ran into, as I was making these crawfish pies, the base of it is a very large, very flat, round base. And then I thought, surely that's nothing. I can print that a mile a minute. Let me tell you how wrong I was. Because if any of you know, large flat surfaces, printers don't like them. They'll peel up. They shred. They don't adhere to the surface. I mean, the list goes on and on. I bet you've wasted a lot of filament. Man, I know I did. Let me see if I can share a little screen with you. I might be able to help you out a little bit. Here we go. I'm going to share this screen with you. All right. This is the base of that pie. Okay. Now, if we go in and we want to take a look, typical 2-layer perimeter. For this, because it has no load bearing, 2-layer perimeter is fine. It's not going to hurt anything. But ironically, it's the infill that we're going to have to worry about. Now, this is setting on a 50% infill. It could go lighter, but I wanted some weight to it. With a rectilinear, now check this out. Let me show you what that means. For those of you who may or may not know, I'm using Prusa Slicer here. Highly recommended. Open source software. Works for almost any printer. Very intuitive. You have the utmost control over what you're doing. I won't use anything else. I have 11 printers and they all run on this. Now look, let me pull that down. Look. See this grid? That is your rectilinear. But if you notice, and this is where it goes wrong, see how it's all one direction and then all the other direction. What can happen on a large flat surface if a couple of lines get out of place? That print head will snag it and start ripping and shredding across the bottom of that large print. Happens all the time. I probably wasted half a roll of filament on this print at one time before I caught it. It's really a pain, I'm telling you. Now let me go in and show you what I ended up finding, say for instance, the grid infill. I'm going to reslice it. It looks similar. It does. But notice the lines are unified. The grid's all at once. So you have both your axes all at the same time. It's all unified. So it doesn't shred like the rectilinear. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to infill. They can look very similar, but their behavior in the print process is so different that you won't believe it. Let me give you another one. If I was doing a large volume surface, rectilinear or even grid is going to eat up a lot of filament. If you're trying to lower your filament, try this. Try adaptive infills. There's adaptive honeycomb, adaptive cubic. Now, let's go with adaptive cubic. What it does, and this is phenomenal, I do it on my biggest prints. Now, this is not a large print, but let's change that. Let's make it a large print. Simply, there we go. I'm going to put a lot of volume in it, okay? We're going to reslice it with cubic. Now let's look inside. There we go. Look at that. You see these large differences in here. An adaptive cubic infill makes large cubes inside the volume. By doing that, saves you filament, but keeps the strength of the structure while making smaller and smaller all the way out to the edge. Look at that. Look at that. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. At the same time, we see our 1-2 layer perimeter. Now, simple. It's nothing. But let's say you're going to do something that you're going to do a lot of sanding on. You know, you want that smooth finish, like a helmet. If you're doing something like that, don't go less than 4 perimeters. Because that way, as you're sanding, you're actually eliminating part of that perimeter. And you've only got 2 of them. You're going to get into the infill, and you're going to get those gaping holes, the thin spots. Increase your perimeter for the durability. It also adds strength. So if you add, say, 4 to 6 perimeters on a helmet, you got room to sand, polish, and maneuver, and it stays strong. Trust me on this one. Broke a few things. I was just telling a friend of mine, I have the strangest trash pile you'll ever meet. You walk out there and you'll find the Starship Enterprise, a couple of Predators. I know there's an alien in there. It's got to look like a horror movie reject sometimes. But it's all down to literally those 2 factors are the key factors of 3D printing. Get to know your slicer. Get to know the tolerance levels of what you're making. You cannot go wrong if you learn them. Large projects, which I'm into large projects. I love large projects. Require strength in certain spots. And believe it or not, weakness in some spots. You need thin and thick. You got to learn them. You can't go wrong if you do that. So, prime example, when I make gun holsters, and I do make gun holsters, I use a 4-layer perimeter. These things are going to take a beating. You're talking about a metal object slamming into a plastic object repeatedly. People are going to carry it. Knowing my infill, knowing my perimeters, I put a lifetime warranty on these things. Because when I print them, I use a solid PETG plastic that I know will take the hit. The infill and the perimeters will guarantee the strength. So know those, and you will not go wrong. Now here's the ironic part. The same exact thing applies to resin, the infill and the perimeter. A statue like this is made, this is resin. I do resin. Its strength comes from, I do a 4-layer perimeter and a 30% infill to keep the resin count down. But that four-layer perimeter makes these tiny little ankles hold up. That's how you do it, folks. If you've ever had that problem, oh man, I snap the ankles every time I print it. And believe me, I have. Check your perimeters. It's going to blow your mind, I'm telling you. Easiest thing in the world. Look. I get hyper excited. But those two factors launched me into the next level of printing. The tolerance levels on things like my life-size face hugger, 4 foot 11 inches long. The legs wrap around my head. The tail goes around my neck. The pieces have no seams. But the point of it is the infill is only 50%. The perimeter is 4 layers. Listen to me, 4 layers. So when I put them two pieces together, I plastic welded the seams together. And I was able to sand the daylights out of it. I got a perfectly seamless finish because I had plastic enough to sand. 4 layers, man, I'm telling you. You can't go wrong. You'll have to excuse me, I need a little something to drink. No, it's not what you're thinking. I can't have any of that. It's just blue raspberry Skittles. That I have to have. Now, you might see Optimus sitting back here. Yes, he had an accident the other day on live. He came apart at the waist. He was still in the middle of being fixed. I thought he was going to make it a little bit, but he's fixed now for good. He's been plastic welded, super glued, pretty much duct tape and baling wired back together. But he's working. He's working. I promise. So if you got any questions, let him know. We're still working on the Terminator. I was sent a bad chip, and they won't take it back. So caution there. But on the upside, I was actually able to get the chip to function more or less. So I'm still thinking I'm going to be able to get my Terminator to speak with just this. The difference is I have extras. This one just has some capabilities I wanted. That's okay, though. We'll get it. And if you're new to the channel, this is who I'm talking about. This is the Terminator. I am building a living Terminator. As you can see, he reacts. He's got sensors buried in his upper foramen here. So they react to sight and sound, but no sound right now. So he's sighted, he sees. He uses shadows, light and dark sensors, plus motion sensors. So anytime you're coming to the office, if you see him, he'll answer to you. Kind of neat, huh? The statue will be 6'5" if I finish it. But in the meantime, the head is alive and living on my desk. Can't beat that, right? Just a little creepy, at least according to my wife. Now, the lady with the crawfish pies even had mini crawfish pies while she wanted. The bad part is I know they're fake. They're still making me hungry. They're killing me, man. You're killing me, Smalls. But I think that's all. I just wanted to, about on perimeters, and that's all I wanted to say on those. Let me correct myself for a minute. Now, I have been working on a big project again. Y'all might have remember, I'm into large starships. Man, I love large starships. So what's going on is I have designed a large-scale Enterprise, the original 1701, Printed it once, completed, beautiful, and the sun killed it at the last craft show. So I have started another one. Let me grab it real quick. I'll show you what its progress. Here we go. I will work on getting better about having things in the room, but there's not a lot of room, as you can see. The office is kind of cramped. But this is a 3-foot enterprise made of 5% aluminum infill. It is an aluminum part, partially aluminum body, resin-coated nacelles. It's almost done. This is a 5% copper powder filament, just to give it a really good copper shine. It's not close to being done, but it's about halfway. It's got a little ways to go yet. Plus, I got to put the stand together. So this is a prime example, though, of our infill category. These pieces bear a lot of weight. Just printing them in solid is not necessary. 50% infill using a grid, not a rectilinear, 4-layer perimeter, and it'll hold the weight and save me a lot of filament. The neck, all of this is 50% infill with the 4 perimeters and using the grid that we talked about. It gives it a lot of weight to the structure. So, I mean, as you can see, no sag, no movement. It's just fine. It's all about the infill. It's all about the perimeters. Once you master those, you can pull off some really impossible designs. I'm telling you, the designs can get off the hook and still work fantastic. Prime example. Such a simple shape, right? I mean, it really is classic, but it can be very difficult to make. You know, I think the mail is here, and I'm sorry, we're going to have some dogs barking. Yes, and there they go. Oh boy. Luckily, the mail's not coming down here. Everything fits in the mailbox. I have a large parcel box. So I don't have to worry about them coming all the way to the house. Because then my Great Danes, yes, I have 2 Great Danes, would really let me know we had people. Because, goodness, I'm telling you. All right. So my Optimus up there is still waiting on Nemesis here to get done. I had to order a filament. I have burned up every ounce of filament practically in the house for what I need. Oh, but it's getting there. All right. Well, I believe that's it. It's a very short live today. I just wanted to discuss infills. They were on my mind when I was working on that project because I noticed that the things holding in the nacelles on that Enterprise were just rock solid. Practically didn't even need glue. So, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Can't complain. And those of us old farts still, you know, that's one of our favorite ships. But all righty, well, y'all have a good day and stay safe.